fail.
Day 5, final day of semester final review. Starting with quadrilaterals, the stuff that we just got done with. What do we know about all angles of a quadrilateral or a polygon? Equal to 360. So how do we find the missing angle?
Add them all up.
Add them all up.
260. And then minus
What do you get when you add all those up?
260.
260. And then what's the last step?
Minus 360.
Yep. 360 minus
It's 100.
260 to get us 100. Okay. Looking at 79, is that concept any different? No. What's the only difference?
They all just equal it. And so like this.
Right. We have an x in there. We have to solve for x. So how do we set it up?
Add it all up, equal it to 360.
Yep. 101 plus 79 plus 101 plus 11x plus 2. Equal to what?
360.
Equal to 360. Now, what I want you to do, if you struggle with this, underline all of your like terms. So what are like terms on the left side?
101, 79, 101, 2.
Good. Underline all of them. Now you know what do you have to do with all those.
Add them.
Put them all together. What do you get when you put them all together?
283.
283.
Yes.
And then what else is left on that side?
11x.
11x equals 360. What's my next step?
Minus 283.
Minus
77.
283. So you get 11x equals 77. Last step.
Divide by 11, you get 7.
Divide by 11, x equals 7. Any questions on those first four?
Yeah, I got it wrong.
Hello? Trent!
All right. Starting at 81, we're now dealing with parallelograms. Let's, off to the side, draw a parallelogram. What do we know about a parallelogram? What's parallel? Opposite sides are parallel, and they're the same. Opposite sides are the same. Which angles are the same? Opposite angles are the same.
There's two pairs.
Yep, opposite angles are the same. So looking at 81, what do you know about those two given angles? Are they the same or are they different?
They are different
Why are they different?
because they're next to each other.
Because they're next to each other, they're not opposite. What do we know if they're different? What do they add up to?
180.
180. So how would I set it up?
20x plus 4 plus 96 equals 180.
Yep. Underline like terms. What are like terms?
96 and 4.
4 and 96. So we get 20x equals, 20x plus 100 equals 180. Next step. Subtract 100. So we have 20x equals 80. What's my last step? Divide by 20. X equals 4. Okay, I also want to look at 22 quick. Actually, no,
22.
82. Sorry. Actually, the same concept's going to be in 84. Let's look at 84. What do we know about the given sides on 84?
They're the same.
They're the same. They're across from each other. Do you have a question? So the two sides that are given to us, we know that they're the same because they are opposite of each other. Right?
So they're equal to each other?
Yep. So if we ever say they're the same, we want to set them equal to each other. So I'm going to have 2x plus 17 equals x plus 17. Now, the reason I wanted to go over this one is because sometimes when we see problems like this, we freak out. Because why? Because we have x's on different sides. But is that really a problem?
No.
No. Okay, it's just one extra step that you have to do.
Move x, minus x.
Yep.
Minus x.
So the reason I underline them is so that we can see that we need to get them on the same side. So let's subtract x. So I have x plus 17 equals 17. Last step.
Minus 17, x equals 0.
Yep, subtract 17 to get x equals 0. Any questions on this page? All right, we got a couple more to talk about. Flip over to the back. Okay,
I worked in it.
first thing we're talking about is trapezoids.
Those are easy.
If I draw a trapezoid,
Put them together.
everyone draw a trapezoid. What are parts of a trapezoid that we know?
The basics.
The bases, top and bottom. Base 1, base 2. What else do we know about a trapezoid?
The sides that like meet the base are the same.
Yep, those are the same. What else do we know? What do we know about the angles?
The basis angles are the same.
The base angles are the same. Now, what I mean by that
If it's 140.
is the angles that are connected to the same base are the same. Draw those arrows in there so you can put that on your note card. You know the ones connected to the same base are the same. Okay? So remember that for this whole page. On 85, what do we know?
The bases.
The bases. Do we remember how to find the mid-segment?
Add them together.
Base 1
Good.
plus
Base 1 plus base 2 divided by 2. So we do 19 plus 39 divided by 2. What's 19 plus 39?
Pound of interest, 29.
58. And then divided by 2, you get
29.
29. Good. Oh. We good with that one? So everyone write this formula down. So you can put it on your note card. Everyone write that formula down. Looking at 87, do we solve this one the same way?
Yeah. No, you add
No,
you just add.
Right, we need to find the difference between the two that we know. What's the difference between 11 and 9? 2. So we know the difference here will be 2. What do you know about this question mark? Does it have to be bigger or less than 11?
Bigger.
Has to be bigger, so we need to add 2 to 11 and we get 13. Okay. On 89, let's label the parts of the trapezoid. What parts of the trapezoid do we know? The bases. Bases is the top and the bottom. What do we know about the angles of a trapezoid once again?
The base angles are the same.
Base angles are the same. Are these two angles on the same base?
Yes. 140.
Yes. So if one's 140, the other one is 140.
So that's just the answer.
hmm And now I want to look at number 92. Label your bases, base 1, base 2. What do we know about these angles that are given?
180. Add them up equal 1.
They're not the same, right? Because 115 goes with base 1, 11x minus 1 goes with base 2. So you know they're different. They add up to 180. So we have 11x minus 1 plus 115 equal to 180. Now the reason I wanted to talk about this is we need to talk about these like terms. What are like terms? We have
X's and
negative 1 and 115. Now, some questions we've had about this, that negative in front of the 1 has to stay with the negative. It needs to be, we need to do negative 1 plus 115. So we get 114. Positive 114. Or you can think 115 minus 1.
Yeah, that's what I think.
And now we can solve. What do we do first?
114 from 180.
Yep, subtract 114. What do you get? Equals 66. Last step.
Divide by 11.
Divide by 11.
Equals 6.
X equals 6.
And then,
How we doing? We remembering this from last week?
yeah.
On 93 and 94, these were the days when we were talking about rectangles, rhombuses, squares, quadrilaterals, trapezoids, all of those things. You need to pick the best name that describes this shape. Okay? Right, what's the most precise name for this shape right here? Rectangle. Why a rectangle?
All the angles are the same.
Yep, all the angles are the same.
But different.
Right, there's 2 pairs of congruent sides. So there's 4 right angles, and then we have 2 pairs of congruent sides. What if all the sides were the same? What shape would it be?
Square.
It would be a square. Looking at 94, what shape is that?
Quadrilateral trapezoid.
Can be a quadrilateral. What's his more specific name?
Parallelogram.
If it was a parallelogram, these two would have to be parallel to each other.
It's a trapezoid.
It is a trapezoid. Why is it a trapezoid?
Only two sides of it.
Because there's only one pair of parallel sides. Those are our bases.
So,
It's trapezoid. Yep. If I had a shape and the only thing I knew about it was the sides were the same.
Square.
What's that?
Or parallelogram. Rhombus.
Rhombus. Yep. That's the only one that tells us that the sides are the same.
What's all possible
Okay.
bases now?
Parallelogram. If it was only a parallelogram, this would be the signs that they give you. Because those arrows mean what? What do those arrows mean? It means parallel. Those arrows mean that they are parallel, like we saw over here. Okay? Any questions over anything we went over today?
No, I'm already done.
All right.
so